we're growing, okay? And it's best that everybody pays, okay? Now, things to know about Trend Assassin. For those that are wondering, for everybody that's here, that's watching it, however you're watching this is a price action bot. This is not martingale, all right? For those that are experienced with EAs or even trading, you understand what a martingale strategy is. This is not martingale. So basically what that means is when you load the software on a chart, it's not going to open up a trade immediately. That's what martingale bots do. It doesn't matter where the market is as far as price is concerned. It's just going to open up a trade immediately. And martingale can work temporarily, but for the most part, in the long term, it ends up blowing accounts for most people because they're not using it properly, and it's way too complicated to teach people how to use it properly. So we don't have a martingale strategy. This is pure price action. It's looking for certain things to happen in the market, and once those things happen, guess what? It executes a trade. So you're not going to see trades immediately. You're only going to see a trade when there's a trade opportunity, period. It has built-in risk management, which is very, very important. You know, I didn't want to create any other software that trade for people that didn't have risk management built in, because I've looked around. I even been a part of companies to where they were doing good with a software at first, but then what happened? Fear kicked in, greed kicked in, emotions kicked in, and it killed their account. All right. Oh, hey, I made $40 today. Let me take my $500 account lots up to a 0.50 micro or a mini and see if the software can still produce the same result. And then what ended up happening? The trade go 100 pips against them and they end up blowing their account. So we wanted to protect people from themselves with this software. And that's basically what we did when we built in risk management. It works on any account size. $500 is recommended, even though it can work on any account size because they just give you more room, the software more room to do its magic. It can trade basically anything, okay? So we don't really have suggested pairs, but it can trade anything. Crypto can be higher risk. Also, exotics can be higher risk, but it can trade those. So keep that in mind. If you want to go a lower risk, stay away from crypto, stay away from exotics. The more pairs you load software on, the more trades you will potentially see. So if you want to see more trades taking place throughout the day or throughout the week, then you need to load up more charts. Someone on here, I believe, loaded up, I think it was Ryan, 96 charts open, okay? 96. And it sounds like a lot, but once you set that up, you can save it as a profile and you won't ever have to do that again, okay? It only works on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily charts. So 3 time frames. It has a built-in compounding feature, so you can truly set it and forget it if you wanted to, okay? And not have to worry about having to go in and change your lot sizes once your account grows to a certain balance, because the software has a built-in compounding feature that will do that for you as your account balance grows, okay? It can trade in any market conditions. This is very, very important. So while some people were panicking about what's happening in the market, even some people lost a lot of money in the market. Guess what Trend Assassin was doing? Trend Assassin was kicking out trades and making money, all right, which I am going to show you proof a little later. This is newbie friendly, so it doesn't matter if you're new or if you are a veteran. We made this as simple as possible so that you can understand it and be able to set it up and to allow the software to start working immediately. The goal of the software is to leverage your money and to potentially create consistent gains daily, weekly, or monthly. That's what we wanted to do here, all right? Understand that that is the sole purpose of any software, in my opinion, is to create consistent gains daily, weekly, or monthly. Not for you to go out and to try to get rich overnight with a software, because most people are not even starting with enough money in their account to be able to produce a full-time income right away. Most people are starting with $500, $1,000, $2,000. You cannot expect to be making $10,000 next month if you're starting with $500 with a software. It's possible, but you're going to be trading at a very high risk if you're trying to do something like that. All right. So you have to remember that some self-monitoring may be suggested depending on what's happening in the world, but you just have to use common sense when it comes to stuff like this. For example, if there's a war or something going on and the market just wicking across the place, or if there's a Brexit thing going on, like you don't want to have the software running during Brexit or some type of war, because it can wick. Or even during the presidential voting situation, the market may be extremely volatile then, and I don't even know what the software will do, because typically you may have 100 pip, 200, 300, 400, 500 pip swings during that time, and you don't want to have the software running during times like that, okay? Remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint, okay? This is a marathon, not a sprint. Those people that come in sprinting, they may get lucky and make some quick money and post it on Facebook, but those people always disappear. I've been doing this a very long time, and I see it happen every day. Oh, hey, I made $50,000 today, right? But then next week they gave all that 50 back to the market because they were still sprinting instead of, jogging, pacing themselves, understanding that this is a marathon, not a sprint. Those people that understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint, are the people that go on to be successful as a trader, okay? This works best with ECN brokers. We do have a few options in the back office that we've tested the software on, that we have, some type of relationship with them. So if you sign up with one of the suggested brokers in the back office using our link, okay, that will help us out greatly. And it will help you out as well, because you will get priority customer service and support if there's any issues, if you're a group with UOPFX customers, okay? So we're not a broker. Let me say that we are not a broker. We just have a relationship with them. And if you are a UOPFX customer and you sign up with one of those links, then you just get priority everything. So make sure you use the link in the back office and don't go directly to the site. Now, looking at the private beta results, I actually have to fix this one tonight after the webinar, because I noticed my computer shut down and it's not on there anymore. But this account started with $5,000, because this is pretty much what I was trying to decide what I was going to do when I go live. And I started the account on February 24th, and I ran this test on March 11th. So that's practically 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks time, from a $5,000 account, I closed out with a $900 profit. Okay. Can anybody tell me what percentage of growth is that? And I'm going to come out and I'm going to wait for y'all. All right. What was the percentage of growth? 18%. Absolutely. Okay. 18% growth in 2 weeks. So is that good or bad? Is it good or bad? Where else you gonna do 18%? Anywhere. 18% return on your money. Right? Think about that. Think about it for a moment. Even if it was $100, yes, 18% during the coronavirus thing. So think about that for a moment. Let's say if you had $100 and you did 18%, like, you're not going to complain about that. Okay. So whatever you start with, you got to think long-term, and you got to look at it from percentages. That's why I tell people, when you start trading, don't look at dollars. Okay. You want to look at pips gain, and you want to look at percentages of growth. If you look at pips and you look at percentages, that will help you keep the a bigger perspective on what's really happening with your trading account. Okay, that will help you keep a bigger perspective or a better perspective on what's happening with your trading account. Can Trend Assassin be used on a 1 to 50 leverage? Yes, it can, but you got to make sure that, yes, it chooses your lot size for you, which I'm going to talk about that a little later. You got to make sure you have enough money in there. Like, I'm going to deposit probably 20,000 and I'm going to put it like in a USA broker. So with $20,000 or $10,000, for example, if you're using the 1 to 50, the leverage really don't matter because you got the capital that can pretty much allow the software to open up any trade that you want. Okay. Let me see here. This is pretty much the same account. It just kind of shows a little bit more detail. It shows you the short positions one, profit trades, long positions one, lost trades, etc. Okay, it's a little over 70% on this particular account. Okay, this is mine's as well. I had $1,000 account. I started this account on the 27th, and I just took the screenshot today. So this has been going 2 weeks as well. So on $1,000 account, I made a $265 profit on $1,000 account. That's nice growth. These are some of the people that are in our private beta group that we have. I don't really know what the account sizes are on these. I believe they are $1,000 on one of them. Based upon what I'm looking at right here, they're probably $1,000. But you see, from the 10th, and today's is 15th, okay? So from the 10th up to, let's just call it the 13th or whenever Friday, whatever day Friday was, they got $145 here, okay? This one was open on the 9th. So from the 9th up into the 12th, you got $104. All right? So look at the potential here with this, all right? Let's keep it going. This is, Kevin used it on crypto. I don't really like trading crypto like that, which is why I say it can be higher risk. But somebody in our group used it on crypto. They did $50 today with it on crypto. Okay. The one on the right, and I actually posted this on Facebook. This is from Anderson account. This is a $10,000 account. On the 6th, one trade. Look how many pips that trade went. All right. $684 on one trade. I have trades that this thing went over 100 pips in profit on one trade. That's how powerful this software is and how you can set it up, okay? Because it's not just going for scalps. It goes for long-term trades as well, depending on how you configure your settings. Like I said, some of these trades are over 100-something pips a piece. Somebody asked about drawdown. It really will depend on a lot of different factors, okay? Because some people have it loaded on 20 charts. Some people have it loaded on 50, some 100. It all depends on how you have it loaded. On this particular account, I don't remember whose this is, but this is a $5,000 account. Brian, okay. And we pretty much opened them the same time around the end of February, 27, 28, or whatever. And you see that he has 14%, a little under 15% growth, $724 profit. That is very, very exciting. Okay. Keeping it moving. Hold on a second, guys. Let me turn this heat off. This heat just came on in his room and it's hot. Hold on a second, y'all. Intermission. Okay. All right. So this is all right. This is Anderson account from the 6th of March. Okay. The 6th of March. Again, your results will vary. These are just results from my private beta group. So from the 6th of March up until I believe he ran this Friday. I don't remember what Friday dates was, but he got $2,900, a little under $3,000 in profit. This is a $10,000 account. Okay. Look to the right. You can get a clear picture of what's going on. This was a $10,000 account. His drawdown is under 10%, which is what I like to see. Okay. and he got 23% growth on his account, $2,300. All right. And he just started his account in March. We only like 2 weeks into March. That is exciting. So understand this before I even talk about anything else. This is how powerful forex is, and this is how powerful this software is. I know some people, including myself, have been a part of companies like Z Rewards, Telex Free, Big Connect. What was the name of the other one? USI Tech. They're not around anymore, so I'm going to call their names. All right, and we joined those companies because of what? Not just because it was a crypto hype thing or whatever Z Rewards was back then, but it was because we had the opportunity or the potential to create passive income. That is correct. But we didn't know it was illegal, okay? Quote unquote, we didn't know it was illegal. So the government came and shut it down, and that passive income was gone. But now you have the potential to create passive income, right, with something that's legit, because the foreign exchange is not going anywhere, right? Now you have the opportunity to create passive income with something like this and not have to worry about, the foreign exchange disappearing tomorrow because it's not going anywhere. All right, keeping it moving. One is a $3,000 account, started on the 9th, and he ran this report, I think, or she, I don't even remember who account this is, but they ran it on Friday, whatever Friday date was, and have a $500 profit here from this $3,000 account literally in a week, okay? The one on the right, I have no idea what the account size is on it, but I do know that $821 profit here on that particular account. Now, we're going to go over the settings. For the people that are asking, is this ready for download, guys? This is a launch. So as soon as the webinar over, you will be able to download it and start using it tonight. That's where I'm going over all of this, okay? Because I want more people to use it so y'all can really see why we're so excited. So coming back to what I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to go over the settings here really quick. So you want to pay attention to this part because we're going to probably get questions about it. All right. So risk percentage of balance. All right. It goes from 1 to 3%. We're not going higher than 3%. Okay. So you choose what percentage you want to risk per balance per trade. And from a drop down, it's either going to be 1 to 3%. Maximum account orders. That's basically means that the maximum amount of trades that you want open at one time. So the max is 3, the minimum is 1. So you have to choose between 1 and 3. And we created this software in a way to where it's almost practically pretty much impossible for you to blow your account with it. Okay. Especially in 1 to 2 days. It's just not going to happen with how it's set up because we have built-in risk management. Stop loss distance. I think the default is medium. I pretty much leave mine at medium. The other choices, I don't remember what they are offhand, but you have tighter, and then you have longer, and then you have other things that are there. I would suggest that you test it first to see what works best with how you configure the settings. In certain situations or with certain pairs, you may want your stop loss a little tighter. And for other pairs, you may want your stop loss a bit longer or a bit larger. So that will depend on you. Manual stop loss is set at 0 if you're going to use the automatic stop loss. If you want to set a manual stop loss, you will put a number in that. Personally, if you don't know what the heck you're doing, leave it on 0. Okay. If you do, you can put a number in there, but it has to be one or the other. If you put a number in there, the stop loss distance, medium, tight, whatever, it's going to override that and go by what you put in there manually. Do everybody understand that? Did that make sense? Before I move on. Okay, cool. All right. Now, the break even starts. Okay, this is where these are important settings here because break even start one. Pretty much what that means is this is the amount of pips that you want the trade to go in profit before your stop loss is moved into what you set at the break even distance one. So in this case, break even start one. Once the trade go 20 pips in profit, it's going to move my stop loss up 10 pips in profit. Okay. Everybody understand that part? I'm trying not to talk technical, so let me know. All right, cool. All right, break even start two. All right. When the trade goes 60 pips in profit, it's going to move my stop loss up again 40 pips in profit. All right. Trailing start. So this is kind of like trade manager. Once the trade goes 100 pips in profit, it's going to start trailing behind price 20 pips. Okay. That's pretty much all it is. That is super duper simple. Now, depending on what pairs you are using this on will determine how you set this up. These are not universal settings for all pairs because all pairs ATR is completely different, okay? Meaning that, you know, for example, the pound pairs are more volatile than the Aussie pairs. Like Aussie may move 20, 30 pips a day. The pound may move 100, 200, 300 pips a day. Or the USD Mexican peso, for example, that thing moves. So depending on what you're placing this software on will determine how you should set up your break even start one. I like for my break even to be moved up on 20 pips just in case the market reverse, because I know for certain if the software is right, which this can require some manual back testing if you go back and look. If the software is right, I know that if the trade goes, I know that the trade is going to go at least 20 pips before anything negative happens. So I generally set it to 20. It moves up 10. So if the market reverses, I'm walking away with 10 pips. If it goes further, once it goes to 60 pips, then I'm going to secure 40. Then once it goes further to 100, I'm going to secure 80. And then if it keeps going, it's going to keep trailing behind price 20 pips until it gets stopped out. Okay. Now the equity management, this is probably the most coolest part of this. All right. Because not only the risk of balance is going to help choose your stop loss for you automatically. I mean, not your stop loss, your lot size for you automatically, but you can also set daily profit goals. Okay. So you can either use actual money. Okay. And I don't like to use money because, again, if you're compounding, for example, you don't want to put anything in the first option where it says has a dollar symbol. Just leave that on 0. If you want to earn 3% a day, 2% a day, 1% a day, just put 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 5.0, whatever you want to choose there. And whenever it hit that percentage, which I like to use percentage of balance, it's going to close out all of your trades and it's not going to trade anymore that day. That is very, very powerful because you don't want the software to overtrade. Some people overtrade themselves. You trade way too much. You've hit your goal and you think because you hot, okay, you're hot today. You're on a road that you should keep going. And what ends up happening is you end up giving back the market what you just won plus some. So if you use the percentage, which I like to have mine at 3%, and it works perfectly for me, once the software hit that 3% profit goal, it shuts down all the trades and is not going to trade anymore that day, regardless of what happens in the market, which is a very, very powerful tool. Is anybody else excited about that part? Okay. I know Joshua is. Okay. Who else is excited? Okay. 3. All right. Keeping it moving. Convert pips by range. Okay. This is what I was talking about, the ATR stuff. Okay. You can set it to no, and it would pretty much use standard settings for your forex majors pretty much, but it won't be 100% accurate as far as the range calculations or pip calculations. Or you can set this to true, and you can put whatever symbol you're placing the software on to make sure that everything is 100% accurate. So this is going to be great for people that are using this on stuff like US 30, oil, gold, etc. Indices, commodities, things like that, or exotics. You want to definitely have it set to true and put that symbol in right here so that it can calculate pips properly when it's trading on those particular pairs. If you're just going to use it on forex majors, then it's not really a big deal that you put the symbol down there. It will take a little time if you're placing the symbol down there. However, it's going to be worth it, and you only have to set this up once you do this and you save it as a profile. Okay. So if you're using a weird broker, for example, that has, for example, some brokers will have Euro USD, then they have I at the end, or LE, or whatever the case scenario is. So depending on which broker you're using, however the symbols display in your navigation window to the left is how you need to type that pair in here in this area here. Okay. If not, it's not going to be able to read it properly. Sessions, we have a daily start hour and a daily end hour. Right now I have mine on 0 because that's not a big deal to me. But if you only want the software to start at a certain hour and end at a certain hour, you can type those times in manually. This is based on the broker time though. So you have to talk to the broker to see what their server time is to put the proper times in. Okay. Once you figure that part out, whatever the broker times are, you can put that in here and use that feature. Personally, I don't use it, but some people may feel like that's important, which is why we put that there. All right. Is the Euro USD general? Yes, it's just a general setting. The convert pips by range, again, that's only going to be important if you're going to be trading with exotics, commodities, and indices. If you're not putting it on any of those three things, you can just leave it on Euro USD. Okay. Do you have to put the software on every chart? Yes, you do. Any chart that you plan to have the software trade for you on, you have to put it on each chart. All right. Let's see. Monday start time, same thing I just went over. If you want the software to start on Monday, you put in that specific time. Friday end time, that's according to your broker server time. Trading on Sunday, yes or no, simple. Do not trade during the first few minutes of a new week. This is for Sundays. So we know when the market open on Sunday, generally you're going to have higher spreads. The market is generally correcting itself and really getting adjusted for the new week. So if you don't want the software to look for trades the first few hours, you can put that those amount of minutes in right here. It's according to minutes. So 120 is 2 hours, etc. So I have mine set to 120 because generally I don't even look at the market when it first opens. I wait at least 2 to 3 hours before I look at it on Sunday, if I look at it. So you can set the software up to do the same thing. Trade on Friday, yes or no. I don't really recommend it consistently. Sometimes it'll do good. But especially now, I wouldn't even have it trading on Friday for the simple fact that the press and even the people are playing games with the market, right? To where they'll wait to the weekend and announce certain things, and then the market will open up in a gap. And sometime it may gap in your favor, sometime it may not. So if you don't even want to risk that, I wouldn't even have it running on Friday at all at this point right now, because they're like playing games to kind of manipulate the market in that way. Only trade during certain sessions. They can either be yes or no. If you only wanted to trade during London or New York, you want to set that to yes and then choose which sessions you want to run the software on. Really simple. All right. Close trades at the beginning of a session. I will say no, but some people may not want their trades to run through Asian session or New York session because generally the trend changes. If that's you, then you can set that to yes. If that's not a big deal, leave it on no. Maximum drawdown for close at new session, that basically works with the setting I just talked about. And anything over $5, in this case, this is what this is. It's going to keep the trade open. If it's $5 and under, it's just going to close that trade out and not run it through that new session. News filter. I have mine on no right now because I was testing it without the news filter, and it's done pretty well. I think everybody, all the tests that you've seen, correct me if I'm wrong because I believe they're on here, these tests were performed without the news filter, okay? So the news filter hasn't been used yet, but if you notice that your software is getting hurt by news, you do have the option to use the news filter, okay? So we wanted to give that option for people that wanted to use it, that didn't want the software to run during news. If you want to use the news filter, just simply turn it on to yes. If you want to show the news panel on the chart so you can actually visually see what news is coming up, set that to yes. Filter high volatility news. That's the only news that I filtered. Is high volatility, set that to yes. Medium news and low impact news, I really ignore that. But if you are a person that don't want it to run during any news, just turn it all on yes. Minutes before news to stop trading. It has 60 here, but you can put whatever you want to put there. Close trades before news. Generally, depending on what the news is, I will recommend a yes for that. And the maximum dollar amount to close before news is $5 by default. That's just what my taste is. Your taste may be a little different, okay? You may want to set something different there, all right? But in this case, in this example, if it's $5 or less, it's going to close out those trades and not leave them open. If it's over $5, it's going to leave them open to run through the news, okay? But it's not going to open any new trades during the news.